friends, welcome to the next episode of App Guide. In this episode, we are going to solve some important problems on the topic average. I am suggesting you to watch the videos on each topic in sequence for better understanding. So, we'll go straight away to our questions. 10th question is, the batting average of 40 innings of a cricket player is 50 runs. His highest score exceeds lowest score by 172 runs. If these two innings are excluded, the average of remaining 38 innings is 48 runs. The highest score of player is. So in this question, they have given the average of 40 innings of a cricket player as 50 runs. Okay. Then they are telling that his highest score exceeds lowest score by 172 runs. This means the difference between his highest score and lowest score is 172 runs. Okay. So H minus L is given as 172 runs. Okay. Now, if these two innings are excluded, the average of remaining 38 innings is 48 runs. Okay. So, we need to find out the highest score. We need to find out this H value. Okay. So, this question also we are doing by the same method which we have done in the previous episode. Okay. So, first let us write down the number of innings. So, the total number of innings is 40. Okay. That is equal to 38 innings plus 2 excluded innings. Okay. The excluded innings are the highest scored and lowest scored innings. Okay. Now the next step is to write down the given average runs above this number of innings. Okay. So the average runs scored in 40 innings is given as 50. So we need to write down 50 above this 40. The average runs of 38 innings is 48. So above this 38 we need to write down 48. Okay. So the average of the two excluded innings is unknown. So let us take here X. This X is not the average, it is the increase in the average runs. Okay. So first let us find out the increase in the average runs. Okay. So for that take either this 50 or this 48 as a reference average. Always take the smallest value as the reference average for convenience. Okay. Now multiply this 40 by the difference between its average and reference average. Okay. So multiply this 40 by 50 minus 48. That is equal to multiply this 38 by its average minus reference average. Okay. Its average as well as the reference average is 48. So this will become 0 plus 2 into X. Okay. Now by solving this equation we will get the value of X. So by solving this you will get the X value as 40. So the increase in the runs is 40. Increase in the average runs is 40. So what will be the average runs? Average runs will be equal to the reference average plus increase in average. That is 48 plus 40. That is equal to 88. Okay. So this is the average of the highest scored and lowest scored innings. Okay. So H plus L by 2 is given as 88. Then what will be H plus L? H plus L will be equal to 88 into 2. That is 176. Okay. Now by solving this both equation, we will get the value of H. We need to find out the highest score of the player. Okay. So adding this both equation, we will get 2H is equal to 348. So from this H value will be equal to 174 runs. So the highest score of the cricket player is 174 runs. The next question is, in the first 10 overs of a cricket game, the run rate was only 3.2. What should be the run rate of remaining 40 overs to reach the target of 282 runs? So in this question, they have given the run rate of first 10 overs of a cricket game. We need to find out the run rate of remaining 40 overs so as to reach the target of 282 runs. Okay. So the total number of runs that should be scored in 50 innings or 50 overs is 282 runs. Okay. So the run rate of 50 overs will be equal to this 282 divided by 50. That is equal to 5.64. Okay. So the run rate of 50 overs is 5.64. Now let us write down the number of overs. Okay. So the total number of overs is 50. That is equal to 10 plus 40 hours. Okay, so this is the first step. Now let us write down the given run rates above this number of hours. Okay, so the run rate of 50 hours we found it as 5.64. Okay, so let us write down this 5.64 above this 50. Okay, now the run rate of 10 hours is given as 3.2. We need to find out the run rate of 40 hours. So above this 40, let us write x. This x is the increase in the run rate. Okay. Now let us take one of these run rates as a reference run rate. Okay. So let us take this 3.2 as the reference run rate. Okay. Now multiply this 50 by the difference between its run rate and reference run rate. Okay. That is 50 into 5.64 minus 3.2. That is equal to whichever part we are taking as the reference part, that part always becomes 0. Okay. So this is equal to 40 into x, that is 40x. Okay. Now on solving this equation, you will get the x value as 3.05. So the increase in the run rate is 3.05. Okay. So the run rate will be equal to reference run rate plus increase in run rate. Okay. So that is 3.2 plus 3.05, that is equal to 6.25. Okay. So the run rate of 40 overs is 6.25. The next question is, a batsman makes a score of 87 runs in the 17th inning and thus increases his average by 3. Find the average after 17th inning. So in this question they are telling that a batsman makes a score of 87 runs in the 17th inning. Okay. So up to 16th inning there was an average. When the batsman scored 87 runs in the 17th inning, after the 17th inning the average has increased by 3. Okay. So let us write the total number of innings as 17. Okay. So the total number of innings is 17. So up to 16 innings there was an average. So when in the 17th inning, when the man scored 87 runs, the average has increased by 3. Okay. So the runs scored in the 17th inning is given as 87. So above this one let us write 87. Okay. So let us consider up to 16th inning the average was x. Okay. So when the batsman scored 87 runs in the 17th inning, the average has increased by 3. Okay. So here the average after 17th inning will be this x plus 3. Okay. Now let us take one of these averages as a reference average. Okay. So I am taking this x as the reference average. Okay. Now multiply this 7 by the difference between its average and reference average. Okay. Then that is equal to whichever part we have taken as the reference part, that part always becomes 0. Okay. So this is equal to multiply this 1 by the difference between its runs and the reference average, that is x. Okay. Now on solving this equation, we will get the x value as 36. Okay. So we need to find out the average after 17th inning. So the average after 17th inning is x plus 3. Okay. So if x is 36, x plus 3 will be equal to 36 plus 3, that is equal to 39 runs. Okay. So this is the average after 17th inning. Okay. The next question is, 9 friends went for a meal, 8 of them spent rupees 12 each for their meals and the 9th spent rupees 8 more than the average expenditure of all 9. What was the total money spent by them? So in this question they are telling that 9 friends went for a meal and the average money spent by 8 of them is given as 12. Okay. So they are telling that the money spent by the 9th person is 8 more than the average money spent by the whole 9 persons. Okay. So we need to find out the total money spent by them. Okay. So the total number of members is 9. So that is equal to 8 plus the 9th person, that is 1. Okay. So this is the first step. Now let us write down the average money spent by the number of members. Okay. So the average money spent by 9 members is not given, but they have given the money spent by the 9th person as 8 more than the average of all 9 persons. Okay. So let us take the average money spent by all 9 persons as x. then the average money spent by the 9th person will be x plus 8. Okay. Now they have given the average money spent by 8 persons as 12. Okay. So above this 8, write 12. Now the next step is to take one of these averages as a reference average. Okay. So let us take this x as the reference average. Okay. So this part will become 0. That is equal to multiply this 8 by the difference between its average and reference average. Okay. Plus multiply 1 by the difference between its average and reference average. Okay. Now on solving this equation, we will get the x value as 13. Okay. Now this is the average money spent by 9 persons. Okay. We need to find out the total money spent by them. So the total money spent by them will be equal to this 13 into 9. Okay. If the average is 13, sum will be average into number of persons, that is 13 into 9. Okay. So that is equal to 117. So rupees 117 is the answer. The next question is, the average marks of some students in an exam is 54. If 20% of students got a mean score of 90 marks and 30% of students got a mean score of 20 marks, find the average marks of remaining students. So in this question, they have given the average marks scored by total number of students. Then they have given the average marks scored by 20% of the students. Then they have given the average marks scored by 30% of the students. We need to find out the average marks scored by remaining students. Okay. So here the number of students is given in terms of percentage. So let us take the total number of students as 100. Okay. Now the average marks scored by the total number of students is given as 54. Okay. So let us write this 54 above this 100. Okay. Now this 100 can be divided into some parts. Okay. They have given the average marks scored by 20% of the students. Okay. So 20% of the total students is 20. 20% of 100 is 20. So the average marks of 20 students can be written as 90. Okay. Now they have given the average marks scored by 30% of the students as 20. So 30% of 100 is 30. So the average marks of 30 students can be written as 20. Okay. So we need to find out the average marks scored by remaining students. Okay. So what will be the remaining students? That will be 100 minus 20 minus 30. That is 50. So we need to find out the average marks scored by 50 students. Okay. So above this 50, let us write x. This x is the increase in the average marks. Okay. So let us first find out the increase in the average marks. For that, let us take one of these averages as a reference average. Okay. So I am taking the smallest average as the reference average. Okay. Now multiply this 100 by the difference between its average and reference average. That is 54 minus 20. That is 34. That is equal to multiply this 20 by the difference between its average and reference average. That is 90 minus 20. That is 70. Okay. Now this part will become 0. Then plus 50 into x. That is 50x. Okay. Now on solving this equation, we will get the x value. Okay. So x value will be equal to 40. So this is the increase in the average. Okay. So we need to find out the average marks of remaining students. So the average marks is equal to reference average plus increase in average. That is 20 plus 40. That is equal to 60. So this is the average marks of remaining students. The next question is, a library has an average of 510 visitors on Sundays and 240 visitors on other days. The average number of visitors per day in a month of 30 days beginning with a Sunday is. So in this question, they have given the average visitors of a library on Sundays. Then they have given the average visitors on other days. We need to find out the average number of visitors in a month of 30 days beginning with a Sunday. Okay. So first we need to find out how many Sundays are there in a month of 30 days beginning with a Sunday. Okay. So on the first day of the month it will be Sunday. Then on 8th it will be Sunday. Then on 15th it will be a Sunday. then on 22nd it will be a Sunday, and on 29th also it will be a Sunday. Okay, so there are 5 Sundays in a month of 30 days beginning with a Sunday. Okay, so let us first write down the number of days. So the number of Sundays are 5. Okay, then what will be the number of other days? Total number of days is 30 and the Sundays are 5. So the other number of days will be 30 minus 5, that is 25. So this is equal to 30. Okay, so this is the first step. Now we need to write down average visitors, average number of visitors above this number of days. Okay, so the average visitors on Sundays is given as 510. So let us write down 510 above this 5. Okay, so above this 25 we need to write down the average visitors on other days, that is given as 240. Okay, so we need to find out the average visitors of 30 days. Okay, so here let us write down x. Okay, so this is the increase in the average visitors. Okay, so first let us find out the increase in the average visitors. For that we need to take one of these averages as a reference average. So I am taking the smallest average as the reference average. Okay, so now multiply this 5 by the difference between its average and reference average, that is 510 minus 240, that is 270. Okay, now this part will become 0. Okay, so this is equal to 30 into x, that is 30x. Okay, so on solving this you will get the x value as 45. Okay, so the increase in the number of visitors is 45. Okay, so we need to find out the average visitors of 30 days. Okay, so the average visitors will be equal to reference average plus increase in average, that is 240 plus 45, that is equal to 285. Okay, so the average visitors in a month of 30 days is 285. The next question is, the average of 6 numbers is x and the average of 3 of these is y. If the average of remaining 3 is z, then which of these option is the right answer? Okay, so in this question they have given the average of 6 numbers as x, then the average of 3 of them is given as y, then the average of the remaining 3 is given as z. Okay, now let us write down 6 is equal to 3 plus 3. Okay, so this is the first step. Now let us write down the given averages above these numbers. Okay, so the average of 6 is given as x, the average of 3 numbers is given as y, then the average of the remaining 3 is given as z. Okay, now let us take one of these averages as a reference average. Okay, so I am taking y as the reference average. Okay, now multiply this 6 by the difference between its average and reference average. Okay, so this is equal to, this part will become 0, then multiply this 3 by the difference between its average and reference average. Okay, now solving this equation we will get 2x minus 2y is equal to z minus y. Okay, so that is 2x is equal to z plus y. Okay, so this is the answer. So second option is the right answer. Okay, 2x is equal to y plus z. The next question is, the average age of students of a class is 15.8 years, the average age of boys in the class is 16.4 years and that of girls is 15.4 years. The ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls is. So in this question they have given the average age of the total number of students, then they have given the average age of the number of boys, and then they have given the average age of the girls. Okay, so we need to find out the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls. Okay, so the total number of students can be written as number of boys plus number of girls. Okay, they have not given the total number of students, they have also not given the total number of boys and number of girls. Okay, now let us write down the given averages above these numbers. Okay, so the average of the total number of students is given as 15.8. The average of the total number of boys is given as 16.4 and the average of girls is given as 15.4. Okay, So we need to find out the ratio of the number of boys and number of girls. So here there are three variables. Okay, so let us make the variable t as 0. Okay, so let us make this part as 0. So for that, let us take this 15.8 as the reference average. Okay, now the next step is this part will become 0 and this is equal to multiply this b by the difference between its average and reference average, that is 15.8, plus multiply this g by the difference between its average and reference average, that is 15.8. Okay, now on solving this you will get it as 0 is equal to b into 0.6 minus g into 0.4, or we can write this as b into 0.6 is equal to g into 0.4, or the ratio of boys to girls will be equal to 0.4 by 0.6, or we can write it as 4 by 6, that is equal to 2 by 3. Okay, so the ratio is 2:3. So this is the answer. The next question is, average price of 10 books is rupees 12, while the average price of 8 of these books is rupees 11.75. Of the remaining 2 books, the price of one book is 60% more than the price of the other. What is the price of each of these 2 books? Okay, so in this question they have given the average price of 10 books as 12 and the average price of 8 of those books is given as 11.75, and we need to find out the price of the other 2 books. Okay, they have also given that the price of one book is 60% more than the price of the other book. Okay, so first let us write down total number of books is 10 and that is equal to 8 plus 2. Now let us write down the given averages above this number of books. Okay, so the average of 10 books is given as 12, the average of 8 books is given as 11.75. Okay, so first we need to find out the average of the remaining 2 books. Okay, so here let us write x. This x is the increase in the average. Okay, so now take the reference average. So let us take 11.75 as the reference average. Okay, now multiply this 10 by the difference between its average and reference average, that is 12 minus 11.75, that is 0.25, that is equal to, this part will become 0 and that is equal to 2x. Okay, now on solving this you will get the x value as 1.25. So this is the increase in the average. So what will be the average? Average will be equal to reference average plus increase in average. Okay, so that will be equal to 13. So the average of the price of 2 books is 13. Okay, now in the option you can verify where the average of the price of the 2 books you are getting as 13. Okay, now in option 3 the average of the price of these 2 books is 13. 10 plus 16 is 26. 26 by 2 is 13. Okay, and in option 4 also you will get the average of the price of these 2 books as 13 itself. Okay, now in the question they have given that the price of one book is 60% more than the price of the other book, which means if the price of one book is 100, then the price of the other book will be 100 plus 60, that is 160. So what will be the ratio? Ratio will be 10:16. Okay, now in option 3 only the ratio of the price of the 2 books is 10:16. Okay, so the option 3 will be the right answer. In this question actually there is no need of doing all these steps. Just by this sentence itself we can find out the answer, because only we are getting the ratio as 10:16 only in option 3. Okay, so here finishes this part of average. I'll be back with other types of problems in the next part. Do watch it. If you felt this video helpful, like it, share it and subscribe it. Also press the bell button so that you get the notification when I am uploading new videos. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.